Savannah! It's your Buddy Peaks podcast. Your Buddy Peaks podcast. Whatever they said. Welcome back to another episode. I don't really know where I was going with that. Isn't there there's an actual song with lyrics that goes behind it that leads into the circles of life?
I thought that was the only lyric in that song was "The Circle of Life." When you
was it pre? Am I thinking like Beyonce remake, like original Lion King?
Yeah,
wasn't there a full yeah? No. Okay, there's the gazelles galloping and it builds up before the boom, the big boom on Pride Rock and shit. There is a song. There is a song. This isn't am I being Mandela affected right now?
I don't know. I haven't seen The Lion King in 20 years.
Yeah, I'm probably right about there too. I could be imagining all this.
It's very possible. Ever since the whole idea between Nala and Simba just fucking, and it was wildly accepted in a children's movie that just animals bang like that furiously. I don't think
Get this ready for Baldur's Gate early.
That's why furries exist, man. This has been a part of watching Bugs Bunny dress up as a cross-dresser when I was a child. Yeah, I get it. I could suck a dick.
Yeah. The logical jump from that.
Should be. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
What do you got to talk about?
You,
bro, I haven't even gotten to the thick of it yet. I'm fried. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. It's just a lot of running around and prepping so much shit and things just not going the way that it should. And
idea.
Hit me.
End of turn season.
Okay. I hand my 2 weeks in.
You move your camera lower and deeper into your room, and you just pull in a chaise lounge. I'll dress up like Freud, and you just unload. We'll make it a 2-episode thing. I won't say a fucking thing. I'll just sit here and doodle, and you just vent on this lounge.
I swear to God, if my boss stops fucking me on just so many things, stop telling me you have it under control when you obviously don't. That's all I need you to do. I need you to just be fucking honest with me for one time in your goddamn life. Especially now that we don't have, we're the only vendor on site. So it's when things don't go the way they should, which is okay. Shit can go sideways. That's all right. But when I've given you weeks in advance to make sure shit doesn't go sideways and you still fucking drop the ball, it's dude, you either just don't give a shit or you're a fucking idiot. Those are the only two options. There's only two options available for this. There's not something came up type of thing.
So out of these two options, one you probably know is the more obvious answer.
Yeah.
When you keep relying on this to be this, isn't that kind of the definition of insanity?
True, but here's the problem. I don't know if this and this are actually two separate things.
If this and this are I'm just getting railroaded the entire time.
You are right about the insanity part of it. It's one of those things that hits you super hard when you have to take that step back and you go, do I really want to be doing this?
This is how it's always going to be here.
It's exactly right. It's been 8 years. It hasn't changed in 8 years, right? So this is this is just how the operation has to go. But it was like, for once in my life, I was like, I have everything so smooth. It's set up so smooth. We had a fucking giant blowout the other day. It was Monday. What was it? Was it
in
Tuesday?
Home Depot?
No. This is yesterday.
Oh, this is another one?
Yeah. And I'm just standing there having this conversation with him, and I'm just like, he's like, at the very end of it, he's like, don't be a piece of shit. Don't be an asshole. And I was just like, I was like, you can kiss my ass, man. You have no idea. He's like, oh, you don't think I could do this? And I just held up all of my notes, like my file, my notes. I threw them in my car. I shut the door and I looked at him and I was like, good luck. And I just fucking left. And that was it. I just walked away. And then like fucking 45 minutes later, I was walking back towards the office. He was like, okay, we should probably try. And I was like, oh yeah, yes, you coming back? Are you coming back? Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Come on over, you little fucking piece of shit.
What I love about this, and for all of you that are watching that don't understand, none of that was internalized. That was all Trevor in real time, like, oh, come on, you little piece of shit, grovel to me. To a grown man, to his employer,
to the guy that signs my checks on a daily basis.
Just, yeah. I know the kind of person you are, and I know it's all just like you're saying it, and he's
raging.
Now turn around from the other perspective. This guy, granted, is not getting shit done, has also been putting up with you. Come on, you fucking piece of shit, for 8 years.
Yeah.
You guys are made for each other, sadly.
See, and unfortunately, that's the right thing. Like, that's why I can't leave, man. It just works. It works. It's fucking annoying, but it works. So this will come out on Friday. Tomorrow being Wednesday, I'm supposed to have 2 people that I'm supposed to give to the property for temp, and one of the guys was like, I can't make tomorrow. He's like, I can't be in the middle of a week that I start a work week. I'm sorry, I just have to roll things around. I'm like, fuck, okay. So I have to like evaluate and readjust. I have another guy on deck, but this other guy on deck doesn't really speak a whole lot of English, right? That's what happened.
Okay.
It's
you
fine.
Speak Swahili.
Well, I'm fine, but he's not going to work for me. He's working for the property. So there's like a,
do phones not exist?
Oh, they don't you guys have phones?
Can't you? I know there's apps that you could blunder your way through. If I can drunkenly accidentally get taken to a cockfight in Cabo, there's no fucking way that somebody can't say this needs to be painted or this needs to do this and just show.
I agree.
It doesn't even have to, like, it doesn't have to be the app that like you speak and then it relays what you're saying.
It has nothing. It has nothing to do with the fact that there aren't options available for this.
You could get out a fucking pen.
Here's
El Axo to El Trio. That's racist to assume that he's Mexican.
He is Mexican.
Yeah. That's why I did. But like you're telling me, there's no way they can.
And the guy that I have that's going to be on deck for this is not a stupid person. He's very smart. He's relatively intelligent for not being able to speak a whole lot of English.
He just no hablas.
Yeah, he just no hablas. But it's just okay. When you go like this, you go, what is this? And then he tells you what it is in Spanish. It's not like but then here's the problem. It has nothing.
It's trusting somebody else to, connect those dots.
Yes. So again, it's one of those situations where I'm like, okay, I understand. It's like one of those situations where, one, if it doesn't work out, okay, I got to find somebody else, which is fine. And like I said, I have the other guy. He just can't start in the middle of the week. That's another understandable point. I get that. You know what I mean? But it is one of those situations where I just like, this goes live. You got another ant?
No.
When this goes live, I will already have started the main turn. So we're recording this on Tuesday. The move out happens Thursday. So when this goes live at 1:00, I'm already either in jail because I've murdered someone, or I'm learning to tie a noose and I'm just going to hang myself from the property trees. One of 2 options is coming up. So
yes,
outside of that, even as shitty as it has been, I had a fucking phenomenal day today. had a phenomenal day. I got a bunch of shit done. My guys from Tijuana came up. I started plugging away. They were bitching about not having enough units, and I was like, well, that's your fucking problem. Wait till fucking Thursday. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. I was like, get yourself set up. Here's an apartment. It's got beds. Have fun. I'll see you guys later. Here's some units. Do whatever. And they're like, well, we need more. I don't give a shit if you need more or not. Like, you gotta wait. You're here early. I had you up.
No say.
Yeah. So anyway, outside of that, it is what it is. I'm now very tired, and it hasn't even started. This I'm still day -0. You know what I mean? Like, or -3 or whatever the fuck it is. I still have to wait for Thursday to be the crazy day, and then I start the 3-week process. So as this goes live on Friday, that would be day 2. I still have all the way till the 16th to pump out. So,
and this is such a brutal thing to watch you go through, to physically watch you just die a little more every time I see you. But like my favorite part of this is it's a lot like when you do like a claustrophobic patient's like MRI. Because it eventually I push that button and they start sliding out, and when they see that it's over and that they're not in the tube anymore, that smile on their face, you get that same smile. It's over. It's over. You get to relax. You become like this one point of the year is when you peak. You get right to the end, and it's the happiest I'll see you all year. And then it drifts away, and then we start talking about Call of Duty again. But there will be real soon here just that look of relief and pure joy.
And the thing is like I've said it before, it is such good money for such a short span of time.
We just have to wake you up when September ends.
Jesus. I'm ready for it though. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm actually I'm as long as as long as my boss just does what I say and not tries to interpret what I say.
For you.
Today I asked him something. I needed something from him, and he was like, "Oh, you mean like this?" And I sent it to him in Spanish. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "I don't know. You don't understand my English. You barely understand my fucking Spanish. Like, next from here is I'm gonna take crayons and a fucking piece of paper, and I'm gonna draw you a picture. And if you can't understand that out, I don't know what the fuck else to do."
I was gonna say, I'm gonna get you like a whiteboard so you can put in like big letters, like, "This is your job today." And he's like, "What did Trevor want me to do?" And it just said, "Don't fuck up," or something like that on it. Like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
His whole thing today, he's like, "I'm gonna be on the property super early." Like 10:45 rolls around. I'm just like, whatever, man. Stop. Anyway, that's it. That's it. That's what it is. So cool fucking video you put out, right?
Yeah, it debuted really well.
Oh, right? Yeah. One of the best fucking things we've ever seen on our channel. And if you haven't seen it, then you're missing out on an opportunity. Go back, check out Wednesday's video.
Go
watch the fucking shit.
Yeah, yes, 2 days ago's video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped.
Oh, I'm not.
Why?
I'm glad it's over.
Well, it's not over.
Well, it's not over. No. I'm glad that one's over.
Yeah. That's a growing pains one, right? Yeah. That's the labor's one, right? Non-epidural, 12.5 pound.
I learned a lot from it, even when I thought I was done.
Yeah.
Once it like rendered all the way up, and I watched it back, I was like, there's like audio stuff and shit like that where you're like, oh, that's not as good. And I thought I went through it. Yeah. And like really like when I watched it back, but for some reason, here or there. I'm glad that one's over. I'm on to the next one.
Good.
Without giving spoilers though, I'm flabbergasted. I don't know how long. I thought this was going to be like a 3-episode miniseries. This is going to turn into a fucking year-long journey for me just to get fucked. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like even like yesterday I played a bunch. I was like, okay, like that's done. I'm moving into the next one, but I still need to like have stuff moving forward. I don't want to like lose my train of thought. So I was back into it. I'm fucking every time something happens, I'm like running to everybody like, hey, do you want to fuck yet? And like, nope, nobody. I don't understand.
So
I don't understand if I'm missing something huge, because there's a lot that even just now I'm like, I'm starting to play the game how it's supposed to be played.
So I have a question for you. You did the twirl in the skylight with Gale, right?
No.
So he didn't take you to like the mythical place, like in his mind or whatever.
Oh no. Yeah.
So that is a sex scene.
No. I didn't go up. No, I saw Padnam did that. No, we just had a moment where we briefly were in the weave together, and I pictured us kissing. That's as fucking close as I've gotten. I know. And everybody else is like, you're and fucking even Cliff is being taken up into the sky.
I had to stop playing the game because it's basically just Pornhub at this point. I can't even get through the fucking
Meanwhile, all I'm doing, literally every action I do is like, am I going to get fucked from this? And now somehow I'm into Act 2 and still not one person wants to bang.
Which is wild to me, man. That is wild to me, especially because I was reading an article today about the way that romancing the characters works. So because the whole idea was like, each character has their own like wants, feelings, emotions, stuff like that, whatever the fuck. There's only 2 characters. Well, there's 3 characters where you can have multi-romanced scenarios. It's Shadowheart, what's his name, Asterion or whatever, and Halcyon. Those are the 3. But you can only do a romance situation between Shadowheart and Halcyon or Asterion and Halcyon. Those are the only multiple. So if you shoot for too many outside of it, or you start a relationship with too many people, then everything kind of backtracks.
Because I feel like Shadowheart and Gale are kind of like Shadowheart's obviously like we had like the thing, but I don't know. I'm also trying to keep this as organic as possible. I know there's like speedrunners, and trust me, I want to be like, how do I get them to fuck me in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep it as organic and like as like from a completely newcomers as you've seen, because you've seen the video. That was 2 days ago.
Absolutely. I saw it. Yeah.
But as you've seen, a lot of this is just me being like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. No clue. So I'm trying to also keep that. I'm trying to keep myself as like in the dark as possible and explore this and just let it be its own experience. But I'm also losing my mind because everybody's getting fucked and I'm not. And I'm probably doing something wrong.
Well, I think you're trying too hard for it.
I guess.
You gotta be cool, calm, and collected, bro. Or start the, I don't know, Act 2 might have Rufalin or something in it.
I'm in Act 2.
I don't know.
I'm in it.
Find the Bill Cosby room.
I've tried. Yeah. Can you right click on a character to just, you know, it says that word. That's probably.
All right. And I want to talk about it. Which one of you motherfuckers reported our Etsy account?
Oh,
bro.
That one?
We didn't even get a chance. I didn't even get a chance to put it out in a video. We talked about it on the podcast, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start pushing.
It went down like the next day.
The next day.
It literally did go down the next day.
That's what I'm saying. Which one of you motherfuckers did it? Which is fine.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Weird timing. That's really weird timing.
I mean,
but I have like from everything I've been seeing, I have seen things that say like people just get shut down.
Right, but
like, and then it just happens.
The problem is that Etsy does not have a fucking system in place to deal with customer service. Like, you're dealing with like money transactions and product transactions. Like, you would just think.
The most ironic part is it says keep e-commerce human, but it won't let you talk to a human. You just click into circles where you're like, no, but I want to like talk to somebody. It's like, what do you want to talk to them about? Then you click on it. It's like, oh, then you go through this. I'm like, no. I need to talk to somebody because nothing has been explained to me. I've not gotten an email that says why we've been shut down.
Well, not only that, but it's like, not only have you not gotten an email from it, but the only email that you got was like, oh, your account violated policies. Here's the policies. It's just a list of the entire website.
Every single policy.
What?
I can't narrow it down to like 2. Like, I'll guess between 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we have an idea, but here's the thing. If it's not the Cliff shirt, then that motherfucker goes back up on the store when we go live.
Absolutely.
And
I make it 10 times worse.
Oh my God, 10 times worse.
Yeah. Like, just decapitated. We'll go to the SPCA's website. We'll take all their dead dogs. We'll put them on the shirt.
We'll make the shirt out of the dead dogs.
If you're watching Etsy, I'm joking.
I'm not.
I'm pleading my case.
Fuck you people. Fuck you people. Do better. Do better. I'm not even mad, but the reason why I'm not mad because this is what I expect. I expect shit to not go the way it should, right?
It went so good for so long until we announced it.
But that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't let me pull up the thing. Like we technically have like almost $1,000 in sales.
That's what I'm saying though. And like it's just completely dead. But it's like what I didn't find is if people were able to get their accounts back. There's been no conversation on that. I saw a bunch of the stuff where it's like,
a lot of videos where people like walk you through on how to get your account back. But then I've also like seen comments on that, like follow this, got my account back. A week later, I was banned again. Like there's like a lot of, I don't know. It's this was the easiest and cheapest way to do it, and this is probably why it's so easy and cheap.
Right, because it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
And like we look at it, it's like, you know, $40 a month for a different account, like different thing or whatever that can allow us to put our products on it. If it just means no headaches, like I don't mind. I'll fucking make another bill per month, $40 a month, and just fucking spend it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's cutting into my WoW money though.
Oh, that's right. You're a WoW main now.
Yeah, I'm a WoW main now.
Have you hit 20?
No.
Are you?
No,
I think
I'm 16.
If you hit 20, are you gonna pay for a sub?
I don't know. It depends on what our fucking. I'm just waiting for you to say this is the MMO we're gonna play,
bro. I know.
When you decide, that's when I start playing.
We went. So last week's video, we decided we were gonna go to Moonguard. Whoa! What an event!
It wasn't as okay. It was as weird as I was expecting, but in a completely different way.
Yeah, completely different. That one guy.
I was looking for like fucking like tentacles going into holes and like just like the weirdest chat lines like popping over people's heads, and all it was one guy just bitching to 1,000 characters. You're all sheeple. Rocco, who hurt you? What was her name? Athena
hurt him. She's such a scammer. She scammed me for 2 years, bro.
2 years.
My favorite part is like, do you even need us for this conversation?
For a while there, like, I thought like he was kind of talking to us, but then like after, you know, like 10 minutes, it's like, is he talking to us or is he just talking to himself?
Well, then, and like you even said, you're like, I feel like this guy is just copying and pasting from a script or whatever. It was weird. And
I felt like he was snorting Adderall off his like bathroom vanity, and he had his headset on and it was just voice to texting everything he was telling himself in the mirror.
It was wild because like at one point I had said something. I don't remember what I said. I was like, oh, you want to like lend me some money so I can pay these strippers?
That's the only time he acknowledged us.
That's the only time he acknowledged us. I was like, oh, maybe he is here.
I know.
It was weird.
Just when you think that we're out, he sucks you back in.
We need mods, though. We need mods for the ERP community so we can read all their fucking crazy-ass bios and stuff. Because that's one of the things. You download a mod, and what it does is it allows you to do like a backstory thing, and it has other characters back. So when you click on them to view their character sheet, you can click on the thing, it'll open up the mod, and then it gives you like a detailed list of their backstory. Some of the shit that they write is like, whoa.
And I'm back in.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
Yeah. But we played WoW, and then the feeling, the emotion and everything, and that's why I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It's so... We were going back through looking for like Nuck's character, and like I was scrolling through logs and stuff and like the old like guild channel to see like all the stuff and like reading all the things, and like I was like hit with like a nostalgia emotion and like I'm missing all my friends and raid night and stuff, and I was like, I can't do this. I got turn going on right now. I can't even imagine getting back into WoW right now. Yeah, dude. I was like, maybe we pause right now. So I mean, it's cool. It's a cool game. Like if you don't have to like deal with a lot of the bullshit, like what you're doing, you're just fucking running around doing quests and murder and shit. That's cool. Like just when we played it the first time a few years back, you know, and we were just running around fucking old areas and just doing quests and shit. And I was just like, oh man, this is so. This is when WoW was the greatest, when I could just quest with a buddy, you know.
See, but once again, I'm like right at that point where I'm like, either it's got to get better or I'm ready to give up.
Well, I mean, you're in a real fucking tough spot because you're in the shittiest area and the shittiest fucking like leveling perspective. Like you're not doing anything fun. Like there's a thing called Chromie Time that allows you to go to different expansions and level through different expansions. So instead of doing the vanilla questing, which is arguably the most boring. I mean, yeah, it's cool storyline, but it is the most boring fucking content in the game. Like you could go to like Draenor and fucking quest through Warlords of Draenor. Like you can go to Legion and fucking play all the dope ass shit through Legion. It's like there are different options of like making it fun while the leveling process happens. I don't know enough about Dragonflight and the newest expansion to know whether or not, like when I played it for a couple of weeks and I was like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. It's just not it. But for me, the questing and the story, as cool as all the story and the lore is, I love it. It's the fucking end game content. It's all the raids and dungeons and all the fucking synergy and all that shit. That's what makes WoW fun for me. And I don't know if I have the gut to grind. Plus 5 people. So it'd be me and you and Sean, but he hates Mythic Plus. I don't know.
Never made it as a wise man.
Never cut it as a good poor man Steve.
Never hurt, never who, what wise man.
This is how you remind me. Fuck.
Oh,
I've been playing Project Zomboid.
Yeah, you're talking about that a little bit.
I don't know why I've waited so long on this game.
It sounds terrible.
It came out the same time that 7 Days to Die came out. And I think that was why I picked 7 Days over Project Zomboid, because I was like, oh, isometric, top-down, weird survival zombie thing. It looked cool, but it never really hit. It's gone through so many different changes. And I started, was looking for something to play. I was like, I'm just looking for something. And I don't know if it was on sale. It was like $5 off or something. I was like, fuck it. Let's just pull the trigger. It's been 10 years. I've been following this game for 10 years. Let me just play it. See what happens. First, few days playing, I was like, wow, this game is fucking hard. Super fucking hard. Does not make any sense fucking hard.
Didn't you say get bit once it's over?
Yeah. Yeah. You've got a 2 or 3 day, once you stop the bleeding, to basically craft the antidote. And that is not an easy process. To craft the antidote, you have to have like metalworking to max and fucking chemistry to max and be able to get very specific supplies that only show up in certain areas of the game. So it's not your third day you get bit and you're like, oh, well, I'll just make an antidote. No, it's your third day to bit. Okay. You're basically just the cool thing about it is that every world that you start or whatever, save file or whatever you want to call it, is in a persistent universe or persistent world. So every time a character dies and you start a new character, you start in that same world. So if you have all of your shit, like a safe house, vehicles, all these things and whatever's on your character, and you're going to die, sometimes it's better just to go in a house, in a room, shut the door and die, and then load a new character up and then work your way back to fucking finding that stuff so you can kill your old character, take all your shit back, get all stuff. Okay. So you don't really lose a bunch of stuff, but you lose all the progress you made on that character, all the leveling and all the extra stuff.
Okay,
that's all gone. Ooh. But you can still, so if you make a dope ass base in the world or something like that and you die, you can get back to that. Yeah, it's a little bit easier. There's also
now persistent world. That means there's not stages of levels that keep pushing forward. Does the game get progressively harder as time goes?
Yes, but it's because of the way the game is designed. So
if you have a base that you built day whatever, and you start back and you make your way back to the base, is that base still within that, or is that level based on your character's level?
I think it's based on your character's level, wherever you start. Okay. So it'd be a new game.
The sliding scale kind of resets.
Yeah, it kind of resets, but all the shit is still there. I don't know if the base stuff. I don't know if the base stuff also, all your actual design stuff that you build. I think it does, but I know that all your items and shit will still be there. So I don't know how much of where it's all at. I haven't died enough and gone back. Like, I haven't had enough shit to die and then go back to get it to make up for it. And plus, on top of it, I've also done a thing where, like, more times I die because you kind of start a character in a world. So, like, the best way that they said to play it is play it in sandbox mode. Don't play it for the normal story or whatever they fucking have, the survival stuff and all that shit, because you can't pick and choose. But if you do the sandbox mode, you can go in, you can customize the world for however much you want, however many zombie spawns and things like that. And then you get to customize your specific class. And so you can go through and say, okay, well, you're going to start as a burglar, so you have more sneak and being able to, like, hotwire vehicles off the bat. And then you can, like, dick with different stats. Like, it's on a positive and negative thing. So, like, you have positive traits and negative traits. So if you take a negative trait, which say it's like you're overweight or you're underweight, okay, you get -6 to a negative trait. Well, those -6 points you can then utilize by taking a positive trait, which is like nimble, so you can move faster. Okay, that's +4. Okay, now I can also take lucky, which is +2. So you can take these negative traits and then take positive traits on top of it. It's like a give and take kind of thing. Cool, really cool. Means each character playthrough could be a little bit different and a little bit more, tailored around what you want to do. But it is just, it's a very difficult survival game. A lot of it is just you sitting and waiting. Like, oh, I'm hungry and I'm in a house, but I have food, but there's like an event going on, or like, because there's different events. So you start the game and the TVs will run for only X amount of days until the news are like, okay, we can't do this anymore. Sorry, we're out. But you can watch certain channels to level up very specific skills at certain times. So like at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and then like 8 p.m. or whatever it is, you can fucking sit in front of the TV and it'll be like, oh, this is how we do cooking, or this is how we do like carpentry or whatever. And you can help level up your skills.
Like Bob Ross. You're like, why am I learning to paint?
Exactly. Exactly. But at a certain time, okay, the TVs no longer work. Okay, that's fine. And then after a certain point in time, the electricity goes out. And then after a certain point in time, the plumbing and the water go out. And so like you're fighting against those systems. Okay, well, okay, if the electricity goes out, now you have to go and find generators and like gas, and then start building your base based off of generators to get yourself electricity. But when you run generators, you run noise. So now zombies are like more attracted to the noise. Okay, the water's out. Now you have to learn to build like rain barrels, and then you can like collect rain when it rains and then plummet into your house so you can either like take showers. Oh yeah, it's fucking insanity. But because it's so complicated, it's a lot of fun. It's just fun to do these things. But it's slow. It's like methodical. You can maybe take on 1 or 2 zombies at a time, maybe 3 if you're lucky. And if you get to more than 5 or 6, like, you have to run. Making a shot with a shotgun or something. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Shot with a shotgun. Every fucking zombie in the area just comes running at the noise.
I feel like this is to 7 days as Tarkov is to whatever shooty game I enjoy. It just sounds like an overly complicated nightmare of a game, but that's why it's fun to you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. It is very difficult. It is very fun because it's difficult. I think that's why I'm enjoying it, because it like makes me think a little bit, but that like, it doesn't make me think in the sense of like, all right, oh, well, E = MC squared, type of thing. It's just more like, okay, well, how do I take this fight to get through it? Like, I'm at a house. I'm overweight because I've collected all this food because I'm out of food. I've got a couple weapons on me, but they're almost broken. I'm fucking bloodied. I'm tired. I'm ready for sleep, but I got to get out of here. And now a helicopter event is starting. So all the zombies are going towards where the noise of the helicopter event is. How do I survive this? And that's what makes it like super interesting. And there's multiplayer. And mods.
I'm back in.
It's the multiplayer. I've watched a bunch of people play multiplayer. I think I watched the Spiffing Brit do a bunch of multiplayer stuff on it. Seems super interesting. I don't know. it's not one of those things like we just pick up on a day, like, all right, let's play the multiplayer fucking Project Zomboid. It's like we sit down for like 8 hours and we just play it, and then it's like we'll come back to it in a week, you know?
Yeah.
So also picked up Armored Core.
Yeah. And
it's great. It's great. It's great. It's a great game. It's a great fucking game. It's beautiful. It's sick. It's fast. It's mechs. You get to change shit out, shoot things. It is a nostalgia game. I think if I was to look back at Armored Core and be like, yeah, maybe it was pretty much the same fucking thing. I think the only difference now is From Software has leaned so deep into the it's got to be hard for hard's sake type of thing, because that's our shtick because of Soulsborne. Like the first fucking, I mean, and Armored Core fights have always been really difficult, but the first fucking boss, I was like, God damn, what the fuck is going on? I struggled for a hot minute to kill that fucking thing. It's cool. It just has not grabbed my attention the way I thought it was going to.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of lost a little bit of enthusiasm on that when you said it's not multiplayer.
Yeah. Apparently it's supposed to have some type of multiplayer, but
I was picturing, and I can't remember, this was probably a couple years ago at this point, but there was a game that it was like Mech Warrior mixed with like Gundam Wing, and it was almost like Overwatch style, like multiplayer, like mech against mech. There's these huge cities that you'd fight in and shit like that. And that game was supposed to come out, and for some reason my mind must have been like, well, if that game was like this, then this game's probably going to be close to that, where it's like you get to like fight other people with friends and stuff. God, what was it?
I don't know. I was reading
a port coming over from Korea, and it hadn't made it to.
It's a mech game though.
It's like a Gundam Warrior mech game, similar to Overwatch. Let's see if that.
I mean, there was a Gundam game.
Wasn't it.
There was a Gundam game that came out like a few months.
Gundam Evolution, but it's not.
That wasn't it.
That because it was like a blatant ripoff of, Gundam. Like it wasn't actually Gundam.
It wasn't actually Gundam.
No.
Shit.
I don't know. I was just excited for a game kind of similar to that.
Interesting.
You know.
Yeah, apparently this game was
I don't need any other game.
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
I don't.
No?
No.
Not even one?
Baldur's Gate.
That's it?
I'm back in. I'm back reinvested into it. I know I was like, dude, I don't know how you play games and then edit the games and then still want to keep playing the games. And then yesterday, it just sucked me right back in. I was having so much fucking fun. And to the core of me right now, I believe Baldur's Gate 3 might be the best game of all time.
Whoa, dude.
I have never, it's just like
the best game of all time.
Okay. And it made me, okay, hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now, at face value, yes, it is a very, like the turn-based thing and everything like that. Like, it's a great polished game. It's got lots of stories.
Right.
But what it made me think of is not only like how good it is without the battle pass and how it set the bar so high, just similar to Elden Ring, but the way in which you can attack so many different scenarios and there's so many different outcomes based on so many different things. It really excited me for the future of games because I'm sure this is developed way before AI learning and all of that was there. So that's probably not even implemented. But now imagine a game where an AI engine is working kind of against you based on whatever variability you set it to.
Okay.
And the game evolves with this think engine with you as it goes.
Okay.
Like I think it kind of excites me in a way that I haven't been excited for a lot, because
since NFTs.
Since NFTs. Well, since you look at like the trajectory that like shooters, it's like every shooter's just going to be overrun with hackers. It's going to be this. It's not. They've sucked a lot of the fun out of it, and you expect the battle pass bullshit.
Okay.
You expect just a level of fuckery.
Yeah.
And this is like almost like a refreshed like gaming as a whole. It's taken my jaded opinion and it's really fucking flipped it around.
I do agree to this.
Love it.
I do agree to this. I do agree to it. I was reading this.
I do think it's also setting an unreasonably high bar for me in the future, though.
Yeah,
it's a real double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think maybe I can't expect this game to come out with every big release, and maybe I can't expect it to come out for every couple years. But if I were to get a game of this caliber every 3 to 5, somewhere in there,
okay,
I think I might be able to live through gaming.
Yeah, I could see that. I was reading this article of Phil Spencer, like the fucking head dude of Xbox, right? With Microsoft. He was saying that after all the backlash and everything from developers coming out and being like, this is unrealistic. Like no game is like this type of thing. Phil Spencer was saying, he was like, no, I think that this is a fucking brilliant, like, piece of work that the gaming industry should be latching onto and should be striving to hit those marks. He's like, this is what gaming was about. This is where gaming should be now that we're into a point where technology and everything is so advanced, that we should be moving towards having something like this. It's come out so and been loved by so many people. I mean, it's very, very infrequent that people are upset with this game. I think the only people I've heard that have really like talked shit about it has been Cliff, with all of his like bugs and problems that he's had with the game, right? Like, other than that,
yeah, like,
for the most part, the only thing it doesn't have, and it doesn't necessarily need by any means, but it doesn't have that not live service, because again, we know what live service gaming is, but that type of idea, something that is so easily drop in, drop outable that anybody can pick it up at any point in time, play with friends and play alone without being hindered by time constraints, long periods of gaming sessions, or like falling so far behind by not being able to, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? That type of thing. I think that's what's missed, because there are two sides of gaming. There is the single player gaming experience, which we have with Baldur's Gate, which has done really well. Some people may not like the click around type of thing. I'm really interested to see what happens when it comes to console. I think it comes to PlayStation 5 next month, and I think it's on Xbox. So I think they're Larian was talking about, they were like having issues because they're having some problem with the Xbox Series S version of the game, and they couldn't get split screen to work for the Series S for some reason. And so they were saying, they were like, instead of holding it back from Xbox, we may just scrap the whole split screen on Xbox completely, so we can just at least get the game out, and we'll figure out what's wrong and we'll try to release it later. And they're like, if we scrap it, we got to go back and write a bunch of stuff, but we're hoping to get this out by the end of the year. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know. It's got to be something hardware wise or whatever. And I think maybe it's because of the way that the PC version is, which is Microsoft, and then porting it over to the Xbox. I think there's something like that, because I don't know if you can split screen on PC. So I think that's might be why they're having issues with it. Cool, whatever, fine, get it out there. But the single player experience exists. It's there. It's good. It's a great story. It's a bunch of different things. Like you said, you can choose to do something, and you could choose to do something 100 times and may not ever wind up in the same scenario or the same action 100 times as you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may be a different fight every single fucking time that you take it on, depending on what you have, where you stand, who you put in there, what spells you use, shit like that. But outside of the single player experience, then the multiplayer experience is what else the gaming industry strives on. And right now, that's what's lacking drastically. There just isn't shit in the multiplayer experience. And if there is anything out there, it is all actual shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess that's very fair, because I haven't even gotten into multiplayer or even tried that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying, and I would, when people are saying, oh, this is going to be game of the year, I think it'll be game of the year the same way Elden Ring will be game of the year, where necessarily is it actually the game of the year, or is it just because it had so much fucking hype and such a big sale?
I think game of the year.
because outside of Baldur's Gate, the one thing I want to do is I want to download the mod for Baldur's Gate, which just lets me use WASD to move around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fucking swear to God. But the thing is the minute you download mods, the game no longer allows you to get achievements. And as minimal as that is, there is something nice when you hear that and you get an achievement on your screen. It's like, man, I did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something happens, you get an achievement, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck happened? And you look at the achievement, you're like, oh, that was something dope or something interesting. And you go back and you find out that was like a hidden achievement that they weren't showing. So it was like something you just had to stumble upon. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fuck. Okay, that's kind of cool. There's something rewarding by that little ding and that little achievement popping up. But at the same point in time, I just don't want to click a mouse everywhere. This mouse is actually starting to go dead from clicking so much.
I do have dead spots with this mouse.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now that you've mentioned the clicking and the WASD, not game of the year.
No.
Completely turned around.
Third option.
What are the other ones in the running?
Overwatch 2. Oh no, they come out last year, huh? Was it November last year? Fuck.
What? Breath of the Wild.
Oh, so that might be the winner. It's not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom or whatever.
Yeah,
the Legend of Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh man, that's a tough.
I don't know. I didn't play it.
Well, yeah, but like, how often do you play Nintendo games? Think about Nintendo in general.
No, I know. That's like the dark horse, because like we're like, oh, Breath of the Wild. Are you kidding me? But like, we don't really play Nintendo games, and the fact that Nintendo does more sales than like anybody combined, and they only have Nintendo titles, says something about like how many people actually play it. So yeah, I guess based on that, just like their sheer fucking numbers like that, they could win.
Well, not only that, Nintendo has its, like, because they have their own console, they have their own games, they don't really split it out. I mean, yes, there are games that are on multiple platforms, but they're not Nintendo companies, right? They're just like, yeah, go ahead and put your piece of shit game on our fucking Switch or whatever. But for the most part, like, a Nintendo game when it comes out is like, there's like maybe one or two of them a year. You know, you've got, you know, Tears of the Kingdom came out, and then the first brand new actual like Mario game since like Odyssey or whatever is coming out, like right around the corner. And like that looks like that's gonna fucking just blow up as well, because people are weirdos about Nintendo, man.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know if it's game of the year worthy than the Mario game. I definitely think Tears of the Kingdom.
That's the other thing, is like, is it game of the year because it's Nintendo, but it's doing stuff that a Nintendo game doesn't usually do?
No,
but
because
it's been done hundreds of times in PC, you know?
Yeah.
You get to that weird,
it's a gray area.
It's groundbreaking for Nintendo.
I definitely think that Baldur's Gate is unique enough that there's not many games like this. Like, there's a lot of games. Actually, I found one that was like just like a pirate game like this. It's actually overwhelmingly positive. But I only knew about it now. It came out a couple years ago, but I only knew about it now because the developer's like, okay, well, we're going to slow down. We're not putting as much effort into the game anymore. It's like, oh, where the fuck was this, you know? And then it's like the other games that are like this within this genre that are blown up was like Divinity, which is basically Larian, which is Baldur's Gate, 3, just earlier version. I think it's unique enough that we don't see it, so it like kind of hits on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Nightingale gets pushed to February, right? So we don't even have another like multiplayer co-op experience.
I think that's why they did it, to be honest. Baldur's Gate 3 came out and they're like, we have no chance of game of the year.
Do you think game developers do that when they push a game out? Do they like, oh, when do we put it out to see if we can get game of the year?
I think they could.
I think big AAA titles, right?
Is beginning of the year really when you want to be putting your game out, though? Don't you want kind of like a beginning of Q3 release to make that big push?
Oh, for a game of the year?
Yeah.
I definitely think so. I think end of Q3 is when you need to be putting your big name out if you're trying to go for game of the year. But if I was any type of
and you get those like holiday sales and shit like that.
That's exactly right. Well, no, but that also could be a hindrance on a company too. You put a game out and then everybody's expecting it to go on sale. You lose out on money and revenue.
And you get grouped up with everything that's
unless
coming out
you have an in-game store, a battle pass, and a live service model. Then drop that motherfucker down 50%, and guess what? You'll make all the money in the long run. Especially during the holiday season when you can go, yeah, we discounted all the in-game currency that we use. Buy 50% off on a $99 pack.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was cooking.
Meth.
Catfish.
Oh, okay.
I was cooking catfish, and when I'm in the kitchen, I you know, like any
grown
person of reasonable intelligence, I listen to our podcast while I cook.
It's a great experience. Yeah,
you just keep up on it. Yeah, everybody should do it. Like, comment, and subscribe. And it got to the point where you said, "Isn't it so cool? Our battle pass has 666 coins in it." I almost fucking threw a fish fillet at the wall. I was like instantly so mad. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then just like, "Oh, you piece of shit! That's next level." And after 2, you won't be able to get it. You'll be $2 short. But they only said, and like I instantly just got so pissed off. Big mad. Big fucking mad.
What people don't realize is that because the podcast has got so much negativity in it, we barely speak about positive things. We start off negative, we end negative. You should be killing your animals for dinner while watching this.
By the time we got to the part of we don't want to go after the low-hanging fruit. We want to talk positive. They just make it so hard. They would probably be our best games if they just wouldn't fuck up. I was like washing the dishes like, yeah. like full range of emotion while cooking.
Oh, fuck me, man. I've been playing Remnant 2 with Sean. Sean is like fully committed into Remnant right now. Like fully. He is. So we got to on his world, he got to the final boss. Cool.
Oh, he's in it.
And now he's like, well, I've seen everything for like the main story now. And like we kind of discovered how adventure mode works. And he's like, now I don't feel so bad about going back to the wiki and look. Now that I've done my playthrough, I've done all my shit in my main story, and I'm at the final boss, and there's not really much else outside of that besides the adventure mode. He's like, I don't mind going back and checking out the wiki, which has been fucking dope. Because for me, I haven't had a ton of time for gaming. I haven't even recorded anything. You know what I mean? Like, thank God I did some recording in the past so I could have some videos coming out. But for the most part, like, I haven't been able to touch recording. I've just been kind of like dicking around with games here and there. But he's now the plethora of knowledge. And he's like, dude, I figured out how we can get another fucking like class. How? Okay, come follow me. We would do this. And he's like, he's just reading off a wiki. He says, oh, we need to
Sherpaing you through.
Yeah, but he's not like really Sherpaing it. He's just like reading text walls and being like, there's like a blue light or something in a main area. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, that's it. That's what we're looking for. And then we just discovered ourselves. It's been a fucking blast. We've unlocked certain weapons, killed some things. We re-rolled a couple fucking adventure modes on my world so we could go and do this thing. We went through all this Fey area or whatever it was. Remember the Fey area that we started in where it was like the temple and everything, and it was like we were running through and killing a bunch of stuff. That was that night before we quit off. So we discovered this whole fucking storyline about this wolf and a doe, and like they're two gods and this whole fucking thing. And we were like, oh, this is sick, dude. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, I've heard about this. This is like, you have a choice on which god you fight. And like, depending on which one you fight, you get like a very specific weapon. Oh, fuck, this is so sick. We ran through the whole thing, got to the very ending of it. And the biggest problem with Remnant is that the worlds, there's usually 2 different types of worlds that load into the game. And so that's that idea of like the replayability, is that you may not always see the same worlds happen or the same dungeons within those worlds. So it kind of forces you to go back and play again and do the adventure mode and join with other friends and stuff like that. So that way you kind of get like a full experience while not having to worry about doing it all the way through. But we didn't experience that. And like, because the story was so thick and like letting us know about this wolf and doe thing, we were so pumped for the very end of it. And then we fought this boss that hadn't, the final boss had nothing to do with the storyline. We're like, what the fuck is this? So of course, it's like fucking 3 a.m. We're like, roll the world back again. Let's do it again. Let's just figure it out. Fucking finally mobbed all the way out, killed the boss, got the weapon. It was dope. It was super fucking cool. So, I mean, the game has been really, really fun as a co-op experience. And like he was even saying, he was like, I don't think I've had this much fun and investment in playing a game since Elden Ring. And he's been playing Baldur's Gate 2. Like he was playing Baldur's Gate the other day. He's like, I love Baldur's Gate. I'm having a blast. He's like, but Remnant right now, he's like, that I cannot stop playing Remnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, I mean, Remnant does have that multiplayer aspect to it.
It does. And I think I said it in one of the other podcasts, I think it's done the multiplayer side of that Soulsborne type of thing the best out of all of the games that we've played like that. I think it does it the best. There's no like, you defeat a boss and get kicked out here another world or some shit like that.
That was a little lackluster.
Yeah. You just play through the story. If you die, you just go sit back down at the crystal and you can revive someone. You know what I mean? You didn't have to run back to try and summon them again and fight the whole system. It's just this very simple game in that aspect. And now we have this synergy. Sean was playing a class that was very specific that he had kind of built it around, but when we play together, he has a very specific build with like the medic or whatever. And so we've been playing it. I've been running like a juggernaut, like engineer class or whatever. So like I can take up a little bit more damage, stay a little bit up in the fight. He does this medic, I think he was doing medic summoner or medic alchemist or something like that. And like, it was just dope. It was just so much fun. By the time we were killing bosses, like the synergy was working so well between us. Like we were just smashing it and we were just being able to think fights out. Like, go through it, die one time. Okay, we saw that mechanic. We know what that is. Died another time. Okay, we know what that mechanic is. Let's do this. And then we're just making call outs. Okay, roll now, drop down. Okay, come back this way. All right, pull me over. Oh, fuck, I went down. Let me pick you up. Okay, all right, got to do this. And so like we're like working together as this team, and Remnant has just been so fucking good for that play experience. And it's been a ton of fun, but it is a lot. It's a lot too, where it's like, you sit down, you're really kind of plugging out a couple hour gaming session to get that thing going,
It's not light.
I don't have time for bigs. I haven't even booted up Baldur's Gate just because I know it's like, if I'm at a point now where I know it's going to be battles and big stories and stuff like that. And if I start something, I'm 3 hours, 4 hours in. I just don't have time,
It's not like I got a spare hour.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You're missing obligations.
Yeah. It's exactly right. And next week is Starfield.
Starfield.
It is the best.
I don't know if I'm ready for Starfield.
I was thinking the same thing. The fact that I got Armored Core and can barely get into it, I was like, I don't know if I can handle Starfield.
And during turns is like the worst time for this kind of game to come out for you.
I mean, yeah.
But
because I'm either going to be late to the party and I will have missed all of the fun times at the very beginning, or
you could be right on time for first patch.
That's exactly right. I get to see everything blow up in front of me, and then people sift through the rubble to make it, what it is. But it's basically No Man's Sky meets Fallout 4 meets Outer Worlds meets kind of Skyrim. It's not really Skyrim-y at all. I think it leans more towards Fallout than it does Skyrim for sure. The combat, the gunplay combat, the base building, the whole situation feels more Fallout 4, 100%. It definitely feels like No Man's Sky. The whole idea behind, and this has been one thing that I've been watching. Todd Howard and a bunch of developers have been like, we're sure there's going to be a few people that are probably not going to enjoy the exploration part of this game. Why? Why? Your whole shtick is being able to fucking explore everything. Why would people not want to do that? And so when you
just unpopulated planets,
that's exactly
like, oh cool, this one's blue.
Exactly right. There's this idea that there's 1,000 planets with 100 solar systems, not quite a galaxy.
Fuck Starfield. We're going back to Star Citizen.
Oh, but they're saying that
the flight sticks.
The main story campaign is 40 to 50 hours, which is longer than any of their other games. Skyrim, Fallouts, all those things. Like 40 to 50 hours for just the main campaign. But they haven't really specified how deep the side quests are. It also looks like out of 1,000 planets, like 15 of them are going to be where all the story takes place. I don't know, man.
They're there for the DLC, baby. If you buy the battle pass, you'll get access to 20 new planets this year. Ooh.
Oh, that's gross, dude.
Think about it.
The battle pass is just in-game items that allows you to craft things for your ship to allow you to go farther in the solar system. But to require the energy to charge the engines is in an in-game store that only comes with the tokens from the battle pass. Why don't we make video games? We can be rich.
Yeah. You think you're gonna fucking people over? Let my twisted mind go to work. Oh.
We'll be as hated as that guy that bought the fucking rights for the AIDS fucking medicine or whatever the fuck it was. I digress though. I think Star Citizen will be great because all the people that could not get into Baldur's Gate, which there's a lot of them.
Starfield.
You do not want to play Starfield. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you're talking about not having an hour to game, and it takes us 4 hours to go from one planet to the next to meet up to die to start it all over again.
Listen, for everybody at home watching, Trevor has just confused Star Citizen and Starfield. He's referring to Star Citizen, the game we were talking about earlier, Starfield. Star Citizen. I want to play it.
I do too.
I wish we had the time to play it.
I wish we did too.
Because I don't give a fuck how long it took. That was so much fun. We didn't do anything. It was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Flying around, fucking.
Man, and that was back when our recording was like, we didn't really know what we were doing. That was like some of our first recordings. It was like Elden Ring and Star Citizen. And like, it was shit. Remember the trailer we put out because we were going to play Star Citizen to make videos? That was like the whole thing that this channel was going to start on. We were going to be fucking
like that
huge.
And Elden Ring.
Yeah, that and Elden Ring. That's what we were going to do.
And we're still talking about Elden Ring at least.
Yeah. Do you remember trying to go in and then you dying to the door? And then having to like get you, revive you, go all the way out, and then we get all the way back to turn your mission in, and I died at the door. Remember we couldn't go through, and you were like dragging my body to try to get me back. Oh my god! Remember you're knocked unconscious. How do I drag you? And I just ripped all your clothes off, and you just fucking asphyxiated. Oh man!
Oh, I know I have to have it somewhere. It has to be somewhere in here. The us going to whatever planet. I go up to go to the bathroom. I come back and everything's gone, and it's just you. No! It's just, everything goes too fast. Everything chugs and just boom.
We're going out to Grimhex
or meat. I got it. And I don't get it. I just run right into a fucking.
You gotta slow down, man. You're gonna hit it. No, I gotta hit it. Boom! Oh my god!
I have to have this clip.
I'm so angry right now. I can't even tell you how mad I am. Yeah, we went to Grimhex.
Oh, here's your dead body. I'm carrying your dead body. It's not that bad.
I don't think any of my stuff was even usable. That's how bad it was. It was a different fucking. We had all different settings back in the time. different bit rates, different everything. Encoding was all fucked up.
Yeah, that'd be another thing. How is it gonna plug into fucking?
I mean, we could probably make a shit video out of it. Or short, yeah, we could do that. There are some funny moments. We had some fucking funny moments in there. Star Citizen. Oh, I'll download it. I'll download it again. I'll get the flight sticks out. We'll go full tilt all over again.
After turns.
It'll have to be
turns when there's nothing. We'll take. Yeah. I mean,
I don't even have time to play a phone game right now. My phone game is jumping between fucking text messages.
This is fun. I'm not talking to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right. Let's wrap this shit up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to another episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast. Tune in next week to see if Trevor is in fact in jail for manslaughter.
Let's take a poll in the comments, or fucking guess in the comments.
Yeah, leave your if you made it this far.
Yeah, if you made it this far,
go down to the comments and let us know.
Am I on trial for murder 1 or murder 2? That's what you need to find out.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck you and your Etsy bullshit too.